So we use a paperback book. Now this is the force of the page numbers. When you take the book, you simply find one page, say for example, let's see, 176 and 177. Now you do this before you start the trick. Now you don't need to know any words on the page at this stage. You just need to know those numbers. Now when you bring the book down, you simply put your little finger into the bottom of the book. Okay? Now from this side, from any angle, it really cannot be seen that you have a little finger in there. And this is the force of the page numbers. So it's 76 and 77 in this case. You can just go and stop right on that page, and then you can just open it up. The more professional thing, well, I'm not saying more professional, but you can actually do it this way. Simply stop, and they stop you exactly where they say. And then what you do, you bring your fingers down, yeah, and then open up the book at the page where your little finger is. It's never noticed. So there's the little finger. Stop. Okay, there, there. So you force pages 76 and 77. That's all you need to know. Because the rest of it is constructed in such a way, using the one ahead principle, that you can in fact glean the information. Once you've actually forced the page, as we explained this way, and you ask them to make a note of the page numbers 76 and 77, you're sort of home and dry, because you can do it with two people like I did on the little performance, and you can do it with one. Whatever way you do it, the first thing you do is ask them to scan both the pages and decide on one word. That is a totally free choice, and you have no idea what the word is. So as I look at this word, at the book on these two pages, I'll just, for example, pretend I'm concentrating on the word Russians, which is there. Now I say to the spectator, are you thinking of the word? And they say yes. I say, don't tell me. And I write on the first piece of paper or card, think of the word, and I write scanning 76 and 77. Because I know I've forced those page numbers. But I'm pretending I'm writing a word. Now this goes down, preferably under something, some cards, cup, whatever. Now, in the simpler version of the trick, all you do is ask the second person, or even the same person, concentrate on the pages. And you write scanning. Sorry, that's wrong. You ask them to think of the numbers. Well, before you do, you say, well, I've made my commitment to the word now, and I'm just wondering how close I am. And for everybody else here who might want to know, what was the word? And they say Russians. They've got no reason to suspect anything, because they think you've already written something down. And you say Russians, oh, great, interesting. Now I want you to concentrate on the numbers. Now, as you're pretending to write down the numbers, you're writing down Russians. The good old one ahead principle. And then you say, I think I may have the number there. And as you pick them up in the big movements, I just take the bottom card, which has the numbers on, and say, what were the numbers? 76 to 77. Great. And then you take this card, because you've switched them around. What was your word? They say Russians, and you have the word Russians. Now, for the more advanced version, what happens is, the first thing you write is still scanning 76, 77. Now you're pretending to write down the word, and they're thinking of the word Russians. And this sort of fools other mentalists. I've tried tried this on as well, because the next thing, if they're aware of the one ahead, which they will be, you sit around and you say, I'll tell you what, I'm going to guess the page numbers now. Now they've already said Russians. And you now say you're going to go for the page numbers, and you're slightly wrong. You know it's 76, 77. So I write, I'm sort of one out, 74, 75. And I say, is that exactly right? Scanning 74, 75. And they go, no. And you go, I've got to get this exactly right. So you throw that away. Let me have another go. Now they're convinced now that you're going to write scanning and some numbers, and that's when you write the word Russians. And you say, I think I've got it exactly right now. Say move. Is the exact number 76, 77? Yes. Clever. And the word I predicted was Russians. Bang on. So that added little subtlety at the end sort of adds to the convincer. Don't get me wrong, the simpler way will fool anybody. But if you're doing this to an experienced mentalist or magician who know about the one-ahead principle, try this extra bit, and you probably fool them as well. It's a very strong piece of mentalism, and I hope you enjoy it.